The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council shimmered under layers of floating crystal light. Representatives from over 500 intelligent species sat around the massive ring-shaped chamber. Some floated in tanks, others perched on metal limbs. A few existed only as holograms. In the center stood Earth's ambassador Kira Mendez, silent, calm, and completely still. This was Earth's 10th summons in the last cycle. The voice of High Chancellor Varen of the Dralnari species echoed through the hall. His thick, scaled face twitched in annoyance. Once again, Earth has acted outside of council regulations. You introduced music to the Velari. Now they sing opera during negotiations. Trade deals have collapsed. War nearly broke out on the Mitari border because of a love song. There was scattered laughter, a few eye rolls. Some looked at Kira with pity, others with amusement. But Kira didn't smile. She didn't even blink. Her eyes slowly moved around the chamber, taking in every face. She had heard it all before. Over centuries, Earth had been blamed for emotional disruption, chaotic creativity, and unpredictable actions. Yet they never broke laws. They only changed things. Varen slammed a clawed hand on the table. Do you have anything to say in Earth's defense? Kira finally stepped forward. She wore no armor, no translator headset, and no flags, just a simple dark suit and a small silver pin with Earth's symbol, a blue and green circle, quiet and unthreatening. She spoke softly, but the room fell silent. No defense, Chancellor. Earth is not angry, just tired. Confused murmurs rippled through the chamber. Tired? That wasn't a word alien diplomats used often. Kira continued. We brought music, art, chaos, laughter, even coffee. We helped fix broken systems, shared translation software, opened our universities, trained your engineers. And each time, we were told we didn't belong, that we were too emotional, too loud, too human. She pulled a sealed letter from her pocket and placed it on the central pedestal. This is Earth's final statement. We're not mad, just done. And with that, she stepped back, bowed once to the chamber, and walked out. No escort, no guards, no dramatic exit. Just silence. Back on Earth's moon embassy, the human diplomats began leaving their offices. Lights dimmed, consoles shut down. In orbit, Earth's ships disappeared, vanished in flashes of soft blue light from Mars to Titan. Human colonies disconnected from the Council network within 6 hours. Every known human presence in the galaxy went dark. At first, the Galactic Council believed it was a stunt. They'll be back, said Illich's diplomat, chuckling. Humans love drama. But days passed, then weeks. No messages, no ships, no signals. Not even a satellite ping. The humans were gone. In one system, a mining operation collapsed when the AI controlling the drill created by Earth shut down. On another planet, diplomats struggled as the auto-translation system stopped working. No one could fix it. Earth had never shared the core code. Soon, dozens of planets reported strange problems. Cargo routes broke down. Terraforming slowed. Council systems had quietly relied on Earth-made support tech for generations, cheap, fast, and oddly reliable. Now, everything was failing. Back at Council HQ, Chancellor Varen stared at the letter. Kira had left. No one had dared open it. Finally, under pressure, he activated the seal. A simple human voice read the message aloud in hundreds of galactic languages at once. To the Galactic Council, we thank you for the experience. We shared what we could. We adapted. We learned. We tried. But now, we choose to walk away. Not in anger, in peace. This galaxy does not need us, and we no longer seek approval. Good luck. Earth's silence followed. Not a word was spoken for minutes. Then panic began to spread. The council called emergency meetings. Teams were sent to Earth's last known coordinates but found only silence. Probes reached the solar system and found nothing. Earth itself was gone. Not destroyed, just missing. No radio waves, no gravity signatures. The sun still burned, but Earth had vanished as if it had never been there. Speculation ran wild. Had Earth used unknown technology? Had they created a pocket dimension? Or simply moved? Some said Earth had finally built what humans once dreamed of, a way to leave not just a place, but a universe. In secret chambers, the council's highest minds gathered. One admiral whispered, "We laughed at their dreams, but they were always one step ahead." A scientist added, "They made chaos work for them. While we followed rules, they built wonders for the first time in centuries." The galaxy realized Earth had never tried to conquer. They had only tried to belong. And when they realized they never would, they left, not in war, not in fire, just in silence. And that silence was louder than any weapon they had ever built. 3 weeks had passed since Earth disappeared. At first, many species still believed it was just a human prank. After all, humans were known for jokes, strange holidays, and unexpected behavior. But now, the joke wasn't funny anymore. On the trade planet Ren 6, the sky had turned orange. Not because of weather, but because the atmosphere balancer, designed by human engineers, had stopped working. No one could fix it. The alien scientists looked at the machines, scratched their heads, and admitted, "We don't know how this thing works." On Station Euro, a space station orbiting a rich mining belt, chaos broke out. The station's artificial gravity system, originally upgraded by humans, started glitching. People floated randomly, crashing into walls. A cargo ship drifted too, closed and exploded. Over 200 lives were lost. Earth's technology had touched everything: medicine, transport, communication, defense, even art. But now, with humans gone, that technology was failing, and no one could replace it. In a control room on Zelvar Prime, a nervous technician waved at his screen. "Translation systems are down again. We can't understand the ambassador from Phalanx." The head diplomat sighed. "Use backups." The technician shook his head. Those were the backups. Both were Earth-built. Soon, entire governments couldn't speak to one another. Treaties broke apart because translations failed. Simple misunderstandings turned into border disputes. One small war started because someone misread the word gift as invasion. The Galactic Council called another emergency meeting. This time, no one laughed. Leaders from powerful species spoke in serious tones, even the proud Draenari. Once the loudest critics of humanity looked uncomfortable. High Chancellor Varen sat, with deep lines on his face. He looked older than he had in decades. "We must locate Earth. Offer peace. Apologize, if we must." But there was no signal. No planet. No trail. Earth was gone. And they had taken everything with them, even the machines Earth had gifted, like the terraforming bots on dying planets, had stopped. It was as if the machines missed their creators and had simply shut down. On the planet Mirel, a hospital went silent. Doctors cried as their medical AI stopped speaking. This AI, designed by Earth's top minds, had saved millions of lives. It understood diseases faster than any other program in the galaxy. Now, it just displayed one final message: "Thank you for learning. Goodbye." People screamed, others prayed. But nothing helped. In space, ships began crashing. Most interstellar travel was powered by Earth-made wormhole stabilizers. They were cheap, fast, and reliable. Other species had their own versions, but none worked as smoothly. Now, without Earth's constant updates and monitoring, the wormholes became unstable. Some ships entered and never came out. Others emerged, but damaged and lost in unknown space. Thousands of trade routes collapsed overnight. The galaxy had become dependent on Earth, and no one had noticed until it was too late. The markets began to fall. On Drenix, a planet known for rare minerals, miners refused to work. Their safety systems had failed. No one wanted to enter the mines without the Earth-designed scanners that detected collapses. Before they happened, on Halari, a farming world, crops began to die. Earth had shared modified soil bacteria that helped food grow faster. But now, those bacteria had stopped multiplying. Some farmers believed they had been secretly linked to Earth's satellites, now gone. Without food, medicine, or safe travel, many civilizations felt fear for the first time in centuries. Across the galaxy, people whispered the same thing: "What if Earth never comes back?" Some call it the Great Silence, Others began calling it the human goodbye. Alien children asked their parents, "Did we make the humans leave?" And many parents didn't know how to answer. In hidden labs, council scientists tried to reverse engineer Earth's systems, but the code made no sense. One scientist cried after spending days studying an old Earth AI system. It talks in jokes, emotions, and metaphors. Who programs like this? Answer: humans. They had never created machines to be just machines. Their systems learned, adapted, reacted to emotions. Earth technology wasn't just technical, it was alive in its own strange way. And now that its creators were gone, it had no reason to keep running. Even Earth's enemies were worried. The Darnati, a warrior species once at war with humans, had built half their ships using stolen Earth designs. Now, their fleets were dead in space. Their commanders sat in dark rooms, unable to move or fight. One general said, "We mocked their kindness, but we were the fools. We didn't conquer. Earth escaped us." In the middle of all this, one young alien student, Velek, looked up from his textbook. He was studying human history, still curious about the strange species that once played music during battles and solved war with jokes. He whispered to himself, "Maybe they never wanted to win. They just wanted to help, and when we didn't let them, they left." No one could argue with that now, because across the stars, lights were going out, and the galaxy finally realized something it should have known long ago. Earth never needed the galaxy, but the galaxy always needed Earth. Before Earth left, before the silence, before the panic, there was respect, not fear, not worship, just quiet respect. At least from those who paid attention. Now, in the middle of failing systems, broken translations, and darkened skies, many species were finally remembering what Earth had really done and what they had ignored. Centuries ago, Earth had entered the Galactic Council as a weak, small planet. Their ships were slower. Their people were emotional. They cried during peace talks. They hugged enemies. They sang instead of threatened. The council laughed. One Drelnari politician had once said, "They are the children of the stars." Loud, clumsy, and far too hopeful. But the children grew fast. When a sun in the Eros cluster started to collapse, Earth scientists were the first to arrive. While others feared the radiation, humans built shields. They turned the dying star into a solar energy engine, saving 3 nearby planets from freezing. When 2 ancient species nearly destroyed each other in war, it was a young human diplomat who offered them both coffee, sat them at the same table, and told a joke that made both sides laugh for the first time in centuries. Earth didn't always follow the rules, but they made new ones. They didn't always understand the galaxy, but they never stopped trying. And slowly, things began to change. Human ideas spread fast. Aliens learned to paint, to write songs, to share emotions. Some learned Earth languages just for fun. One ambassador from the Telari swarm, a species made of small connected insects, once wrote a love poem in English. Because humans told them that love mattered. On a quiet moon called Telvos 9, an old engineer named Haltran sat in his dusty workshop. He was one of the few who had worked side by side with human engineers. He once helped a human girl named Ava design a space bridge between moons. He opened a box and pulled out a photo rare among alien species. In it, Ava and Haltran stood together, greasy, smiling, and proud of their creation. He whispered, "They built more than machines. They built trust and a university on the planet Seraph." History students were suddenly interested in Earth again. They watched old human speeches, listened to their music, and tried to understand their strange art. One student, a young blue-skinned girl named Sarah, stared at a sculpture shaped like 2 hands holding a planet. "What does it mean?" she asked her teacher. The teacher smiled sadly. "It means they believe the universe could be protected, held, cared for." Sarah nodded. "Why did we ever push them away?" The teacher had no answer. In the council's main archive chamber, Ambassador Jorlin reviewed decades of Earth records. He found something strange. Earth had never charged the council for most of its inventions. The translation software, free. The terraforming tools, shared openly. The medical AI, A gift after the Red Plague nearly wiped out a planet? Jordan leaned back, confused. Why would they give so much and ask for nothing? His assistant replied. Because that's who they were. On the outer edge of the galaxy, a rescue ship called the Hope Finder floated silently. It had been built entirely by Earth and gifted to the Council. It had saved over 5,000 lives across 10 species. Now, it was stuck. The human AI that ran the ship had gone offline. The walls were quiet, the lights dim. Inside the main chamber was a plaque. It read, "To anyone, anywhere, if you need help, we will come." Earth now. No one was coming. And the galaxy was finally feeling what it meant to be alone. Some still believed Earth would return. Others said Earth had grown tired of asking to be understood. One diplomat said it best during a private council session. We treated their kindness as weakness. We thought their emotions were a problem. But maybe it was our fear that was the real weakness. No one disagreed. On a desert world called Brynith, a child found an old human toy in the sand. It was a spinning globe of Earth, broken but still. Glowing faintly, the child took it home, showed it to her family, and asked, "What is this?" Her grandmother whispered, "That is where the light came from," and suddenly, everyone in the home grew quiet. In every corner of the galaxy, memories of Earth began to return. Not the governments or their weapons, but the stories. The soldier who taught war-torn aliens how to build homes. The nurse who stayed behind on a sick world when everyone else fled. The scientist who gave away her discovery so another species could live. The stars themselves seemed dimmer without them. And slowly, painfully, the galaxy began to understand. Earth had never asked to lead. They only wanted to belong. But they were always questioned, always doubted, always pushed away. And now, they were gone. But one question still remained, unspoken, yet growing louder each day. Where did Earth go? And if they could build wonders like these, what had they built for themselves in silence, far away? The silence from Earth had lasted nearly 2 months. 2 months without a single message. 2 months without a sign of life. The Galactic Council was no longer calm. Fear gripped its members like never before. Trade routes were broken, diplomatic. Talks stalled, and entire systems suffered failures. Technology that once worked flawlessly was now glitching or dead. The galaxy's fragile peace began to tremble. In the grand halls of the council, a special meeting was called. This time, it wasn't about debating or blaming. It was about survival. High Chancellor Varen looked tired. His once bright scales were dull. His eyes, usually sharp, now showed worry. The galaxy is unraveling. If Earth does not return, we will lose everything we have built. The Council's representatives murmured their agreement. Even species that once ignored or mocked Earth now spoke with respect and fear. In the shadows, secret groups formed. Scientists, diplomats, and military leaders worked day and night to find a solution. Dr. Nira, a leading xenotechnologist from Seraph, stared at a screen full of data. "We have no idea where Earth is. No signals, no signs. Our probes show only empty space where Earth should be." Her assistant sighed. "Do you think they left the universe?" Nira shook her head slowly. "If humans did that, we will never understand their technology. We have no choice but to hope they come back." Meanwhile, news spread that pirate groups and warlords had begun to exploit the chaos. Without Earth's technology stabilizing trade and security, smaller systems were vulnerable. In the Outer Rim, the Red Claw Syndicate attacked a convoy carrying food and medicine to a starving planet. On Carafor, a farming world, leaders pleaded for help. "Without Earth's terraforming tools, our crops fail. Without safe trade, we cannot survive." The Council had to act fast. A new law was passed, the Reconciliation Decree. It offered Earth anything they wanted: power, territory, even leadership of the Council. A message was sent into deep space, an open invitation: "Earth, come back. We will welcome you as equals. Forgive us our doubts. Let us work together again." But Earth did not respond. No ship appeared. No message came. The silence grew heavier. At the Council's research labs, scientists continued their work on Earth's technology. They hoped to reverse engineer the machines and systems humans left behind. But every time they thought they understood, the machines changed. It was as if Earth's technology was alive, refusing to serve anyone but its creators. 1. Council engineer Joran worked on an Earth-made medical AI that had saved millions. He studied the code late into the night. It learns from emotions, he said quietly. It responds to kindness and stops when it senses cruelty or fear. His colleague looked amazed. That explains why it stopped working. The galaxy forgot to be kind. Joran nodded. Without Earth's hope, the AI gave up. In the council chambers, military leaders debated what to do next. Some urged sending a fleet to search and force Earth's return. Others warned against angering the humans further. One voice rose above the others, an older diplomat named Mecker. If we push them, we lose them forever. If we wait, we lose more of the galaxy. He looked at the council and said, perhaps we must learn from Earth's silence. Outside the council, rumors spread. Some whispered that Earth had built a hidden world, a secret dimension, where they could live free. Others said humans had discovered a way to escape the universe itself. Few dared to say it aloud. But many believed Earth had left not because of anger, but because they were done trying to belong. On a small moon, a group of children listened to an old story. Their grandmother spoke softly. Long ago, Earth tried to be part of the stars. They gave their best, but the stars did not shine for them. One child asked, why did they leave? The grandmother smiled sadly, because sometimes, when no one listens, you must find your own light. Back at the council, the weight of Earth's absence was clear. Without Earth, systems failed. Without Earth, peace wavered. Without Earth, the galaxy was fragile. The council's leaders faced a hard truth. They had underestimated Earth's value. They had dismissed its uniqueness, and now they faced the consequences. In the dim light of the Galactic Council's archive chamber, Velek sat alone among towering shelves filled with records from thousands of worlds. As a young data historian, he was fascinated by the stories of civilizations long gone or forgotten. But lately, one story had captured his attention more than any other: the story of Earth. Velek had spent months searching through ancient transmissions, speeches, and records left behind by humans. The disappearance of Earth had shaken the galaxy, but many still did not understand the true meaning behind humanity's actions. Today, Velek found something new and old, dusty box labeled in a language he recognized as English. Inside was a child's storybook, filled with colorful pictures and simple words, curious. He opened the book. The story was about a small planet surrounded by stars, much like Earth. It told of a lonely child who wanted to join the great cosmic dance but was always left out. The words were simple, but the pictures showed scenes of kindness, struggle, laughter, and hope. As Velek turned the pages, he noticed something strange. Hidden in the drawings were strange patterned symbols that matched coordinates. Intrigued, Velek scanned the symbols and cross-referenced them with known star maps. To his surprise, the coordinates led to a region in deep space outside the known galaxy. Could Earth have gone there? Velek rushed to the council chamber, carrying the book and his findings. He stood before the council and spoke clearly. Esteemed members, I believe the storybook contains a message from Earth, hidden within. Their children's tales are clues to their new home. The chamber buzzed with surprise and skepticism. High Chancellor Varen frowned but allowed Velek to continue. This is not just a story. It is a message of hope and peace. Earth never wanted to conquer or control. They only wished to belong, and when that was denied, they chose to leave quietly. The council agreed to send a small, unmanned probe to the coordinates. It was risky outside known space, was mysterious and dangerous. Weeks later, the probe sent back images unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. The images showed a vast, calm space filled with gentle colors and soft lights. It was not empty, but alive, an artificial dimension created by technology far beyond the council's understanding. Velek called it the Quiet Verse. Inside the Quiet Verse, Earth was building something new, a place where they could grow without fear, without judgment, and without interference. This was not an escape. It was a new beginning, Meanwhile, back in the galaxy, the Council debated what this meant. Some wanted to reach out and ask Earth to return. Others feared Earth's power and independence. But most understood one thing: the galaxy could no longer ignore the lessons Earth had left behind. Velek continued his work, translating more Earth stories and messages. He found tales of kindness, courage, and unity. Stories that spoke not only to humans, but to all beings who had ever felt out of place. In one message, Earth said, "If you seek us, you must first learn to respect and understand." The Council decided to broadcast an open message across the galaxy. It was simple, honest, and hopeful. To Earth, wherever you are, we see you now. We hear your silence. If you will guide us, we will listen. Velek looked at the stars, feeling a quiet hope. Maybe one day, Earth would return not as a conqueror or judge, but as a friend. Until then, the galaxy would remember Earth not for what it lost, but for what it gave. The galaxy waited. Months turned into years. The silence from Earth remained, but something changed. A faint signal blinked to life, a single, low-frequency beacon sent from the edge of the Quietverse, the hidden place where Earth had settled. The signal was simple, but powerful. It carried no demands or threats, no calls for war or submission. Instead, it spread knowledge open, free, and shared with all. Earth's technology, once locked behind complex codes, now became a gift to the galaxy. Anyone could access it. Anyone could learn. In the Council's chambers, the leaders gathered again. Velek, now a respected historian, showed the beacon's data to the Council. Earth is not coming back as they were. They are sending their echo, a legacy, across the stars. The effect was immediate. Old machines powered back on, but differently. They adapted to new users, no longer requiring Earth's presence. Wormholes stabilized. Medical A is healed again. Terraforming drones hummed softly, restoring dying worlds. But Earth itself remained unseen. No ships arrived. No ambassadors spoke. It was as if Earth had become a quiet guardian, present in absence. In the markets of Drenix, children played with Earth-designed toys broadcasted from the beacon. In the libraries of Sereth, students learned Earth's languages and stories, shared freely across data networks. In the halls of power, diplomats used Earth's open communication protocols, building trust in new ways. Yet, the galaxy had changed. The Great Silence had forced it to look inside itself. Pride was replaced by humility. Fear gave way to curiosity. And the desire to belong, truly belong, became a shared goal. One night, on a small farm world called Bryneth, an old woman looked up at the stars. She whispered softly, "Earth didn't leave us. They only asked us to grow." Back in the Quietverse, humans continued to build, explore, and create. They knew the galaxy was watching, but this time, they would return on their own terms. The final message Earth sent through the beacon was clear. We will help you survive. We will share what we have, but only if you learn to respect what you never understood. The galaxy listened. And slowly, hope returned.